start. And I just want to say welcome and hope everybody is doing okay and hanging in there during the pandemic, as we try to roll out of the pandemic. It's been a roller coaster ride, but we're still here and still doing what we need to do. So that's a positive thing. What I want to do today is go over the district's effort to transition everyone out of the old Google Apps, LTI and Canvas, to the new one. And that basically involves a transition from Google Cloud Assignments to what we call now Google Coursekit Assignments or Google Assignments. Okay, so that's what we're going to be looking at today. And there's a lot to it that we're going to get into. So I don't want to waste time in doing that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to present my screen. And there's a couple of housekeeping things that we need to take care of first. All right. So the first housekeeping thing is I'm going to put this link in the chat, and this link it will take you to a Google form where you can enter questions as we go through the session. If you have any questions, just go to this form. You put your name in and put your question in, and then I will try to expeditiously answer the question after the session is over. Okay. So there's a link to the form. And then the next item is going to be the feedback form. So I'll put that in the chat right now too. So you'll have that at the end of the session to record your feedback for how you thought this session went. Okay, so there are your two links right there. Okay, so we're going to go back to the beginning and start the session. All right, everybody can see that slide presentation? Okay.
Yes, sir, Dr. Waller.
Thank you. All right, so the move to Google Assignments in Canvas, okay? So definition. What is Google Assignments, which is originally known as Google Coursekit, and why is CCPS transitioning to it? So the Google Assignments is basically an application that brings all the Google tools together and makes them available for you to incorporate into your assignments and for the students to use when they're submitting assignments back to you. So that's the whole point of it. And it is an awesome feature of Google and Canvas that I think is going to benefit those who have not jumped on that yet, and for those who are currently using Google Cloud and need to transition over. So why the transition? So Google is phasing out the in the initial Google Apps LTI that we're currently using. That will be turned off by Google September the 1st. And that includes the Google Cloud Assignments feature that some of us are using. So we need to be intentional about transitioning all of those assignments where you are using Google Cloud Assignments. We need to transition those assignments over to Google Assignments or Google Coursekit Assignments, because if you don't, when students go to use those assignments again, those assignments will not work. Now, if you don't use, I'm gonna get to that, if you don't use cloud assignments, because that what I just described is just part of what we're going to be doing. The other part of it is to introduce everybody who's not using cloud assignments to using Google assignments. Because at the end of the day, everybody should be using Google assignments to distribute documents to students for them to fill out and submit back. It's going to make your life a lot easier than what it is now. And it's going to do away with a lot of the problems that we have when students submitting work to teachers via Canvas. So what should teachers do at this point? As a result, all teachers should refrain from using Google Cloud assignments in favor of using Google Assignments or Google Coursekit. Now, the county CCPS, the county is going to be turning off Google, the old Google Cloud Assignments feature July the 1st, even though Google's not doing away with it until September the 1st. But CCPS is turning off July 1. That's why I'm jumping on it now to try to ensure that everybody is good to go by June 30th in terms of your assignments that you have in your courses. Okay, we want clean courses. Okay, everything's working, everything is there that needs to be there. Now, if you, I'm going to go through and show you how to, number one, set up Google Assignments, and as well as to tell whether or not you're using it or not. Okay. Features of Google Assignments: simplify how you distribute and analyze and grade student work. That's basically what you're doing. And Google used these buzzwords here, integrate, which basically you're integrating all of the Google tools into your assignments and how students submit assignments. Okay. Distribute and grade the assignments, as well as analyze the student work. There's a new feature in there that deals with making sure that the student work that they're submitting back to you is authentic. Also promoting critical thinking, as well as protecting student and educator privacy. Okay, it's making everything more secure than it is now. Instructional benefits. Assignments are streamlined. Well, Google Assignments streamlines the creation and management of coursework. It checks for the citations and possible plagiarism in the documents. Okay, it embeds drive files with the Canvas rich text editor, add drive files to the Canvas modules, and allow students to submit drive files to Canvas assignments that you can then grade in SpeedGrader. Or minimally, the grades will show up in SpeedGrader when it's all said and done. All right, so now we're ready for the example. And before we do that, we've already talked about that. There are a couple of resources. One is the self-paced course that I put together. And again, I'm going to address those two questions when we get to it. Will we ever link SpeedGrader to Synergy? I have no idea, but at this current time, that does not exist. All right, so as part of this slide deck, there is 5 videos that you can look at down the road that will help you doing the transition and help you understand what Google Assignments is and how to use it. Then there's the self-paced course, which I want to go through now. Okay, so in the self-paced course, what I want to do is give you access to that right now. So I'm going to go ahead down here to the bottom and get the URL for this course, and I'm gonna put it in the chat. I want everybody to go click on that and enroll in the course right now. Now, while you are doing that, this course probably take you an hour or two to do, but it will give you a good introduction and a good feel for what Google Assignments is about and what it can do for you. And as you have this course as a resource, I will be supporting and providing additional training for folks who still need it between now all the way through to June. Okay. So everybody should be in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into modules. And what I want to do is I want to create a new assignment. So we're going to go through how you do this. Okay. So I'm going to create a new assignment by going to this module and clicking add, the plus sign. And I'm going to select assignment here. You got to drop down, but we want to make sure assignment is selected. And then you want to click on new assignment and type in the name of the assignment. And I'm going to call it Baby Yoda's real name assignment. Those of you who are versed in the Mandalorian, the Star Wars piece, when I talk about Baby Yoda, y'all know what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna click on Add Item, and there's the assignment right there. So just keep in mind that once students start submitting work, the assignment will not be able to be unpublished, okay? So I'm gonna publish it now so I won't forget, and then I'm gonna open the assignment up. Okay, so here's the assignment, and I'm gonna go ahead and edit. Okay, and there's the assignment name, and then you have your rich content editor here where you can put in your instructions, you can put in descriptions, and any other multimedia, video, images, or what have you there to help the student understand what you are requiring of them. Okay, now, before you do anything with the submission type here, you want to fill out everything else first. And there's a rhyme and a reason to what I'm telling you here that you will see in a minute. So I'm gonna start with points, and I'm gonna put 100 points in there. It could be anything, whatever you feel the assignment should be worth, grade-wise. I'm going to skip submission type, okay? And the reason is because points is very, very important to make sure that you know how many points you assign. Keep that in the back of your mind going forward. I'm going to skip submission type and go all the way down here to assign. Now, under assign, you can assign it to everybody in the class, or you can assign it to a subset of students in the class. I'm going to leave it on everyone. And then I'm going to assign a due date, which will be March the 1st. And you can cap the assignment to where the students won't be able to get access to it after a certain date. But I'm going to leave this blank for now. Now I'm going to go back up to submission type. Very important. And under submission type drop down, I'm going to go down here and click on external tool. Okay. And under external tool, I'm going to click on find. And this will list all of the external tools that are integrated with Canvas that you have access to. And I'm going to scroll down until I see Google Coursekit Assignment. Okay, now you notice right here that we still have the Google Doc Cloud Assignment. As of July 1, this one is going to be gone. So anybody that's still using that at that time, if a student goes to submit an assignment using that assignment, it will not work. It will result in an error message. So we don't want you to even get to that point. So that's why we're dealing with this now. So you want to choose Google Coursekit Assignment. And then it asks you to link to your Google Drive account, which is your CCPS account. So you click on Continue. And then another pop-up comes up. And you're going to see, those of you who have used Google Doc Cloud before, you're going to see a little bit different here. Those of you who are very versed in Google Classroom will notice some similarity there. But you have your check plagiarism or originality feature here. You can turn that on or off. And I noticed that there was a question about 5 assignments per course. I will need to check on that because it could be what the county is a county limiting to 5, but I don't know that for sure. I would have to ask them about that. So I will let you know. The second item here is attach, and this is where you can go and attach the document that you want the students to use as part of the assignment. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a search for Yoda, and I'll just go ahead and choose I'll just choose this one. All right. And then down here, you see the total points is 100, and it should match what you put in the assignment. And due date, again, is March 1st. All right. And I'm not going to, you can add a rubric, but I'm not going to do that. All right. And you can add as many assignments as you want here. So I'm going to click on Create. And then click on Select. All right, so now I'm finished with the assignment, creating the assignment, and I can click on Save. And there you go. So now you have the summary here, and it's showing you the how the assignment is set up. And you notice right here it has 0 submitted, So this is where every time you come back to this assignment, this is what you're going to see as the teacher. And you're going to see a running list of submissions as they go of each student. Okay. So now let's see what that looks like from the student perspective. All right. So I'm going to switch over to the student. And so now and I'm not using the student view. Okay, I'm logged in as an actual student. Okay, which makes it even better for you all to see. All right, so this is a student in the course, and I'm gonna go ahead and click on modules, and I'm gonna click on the real name assignment right here. Click on that, Baby Yoda's real name assignment. So as a student, I'm going in and it says you've got the document right here. I can go open to attach and submit. And then you notice here that as part of the submission, the student can also add files from their Google Drive, additional files, or they can go here to create, and they create a new doc, a new sheet, or a new slide as supplement information for the assignment. But I'm gonna go ahead and click on the document. And there it is. And I can go in here and make changes to it. And go down here and change it. Okay, so this is my submission. And then I go back to the original tab here and click on submit. All right, so it says you're all set. Assignment is submitted. And it says assignment is not allowed after due date. Unsubmit not allowed after due date. Okay. So as long as the student submitted the document prior to the due date, they will be allowed to unsubmit it and make changes and resubmit it again. That's correct, Ms. Crush. That is exactly correct. So, so let's go back to the teacher. Okay, and I'm gonna refresh this screen. All right, so now you got yeah, you got this is the one that I just submitted right here. And if I open it up, those are my submissions right there. And it says done late for whatever reason. And you have some features here where you can annotate all of this. So it is similar to the speed grader, what you would do in the speed grader, but that's correct. But the nice thing about it is you do all your work here, and then you'll go back and record the grade that you give the student in SpeedGrader. So the grade will be there, but the annotations and all the feedback items will be on the document. And you do have a folder in your document for all of the submissions that you can go back and look at for your record. Okay, as well as a student getting their version of it. So I'm gonna put 80 on here for the grade. I'll put some feedback right there. Click on return and click on return again. Okay, so now I'm gonna switch back to the student. and refresh. And there's the grade right there. And any feedback will show up and so forth. All right. So now, just to show you what I'm talking about when I talk about the folders, in your Google Drive, once you create all of this, you're going to see a list you're going to see an assignment folder. And under that folder, you're going to see each of the courses where you have set up an instance of Google Assignments. And within that folder for that course, you're going to see each assignment that you had students submit. And if you open that assignment up, you see a list of all the documents that the students have submitted. So you have the record right there. So even if a student tells you that, they submitted it, you have the record. So you can verify that. Okay. So this is where we are going. And we have to do some cleanup before we get there. So the goal is to, first of all, get everybody who's on Google Cloud to transition over to Google Assignments. Get everybody who's not using either one using Google Assignments. Because again, I think it's going to be beneficial to you down the road as far as student submissions are concerned and all these issues that we're having with that. And I will be there to support and train and make sure that everybody is good to go. Because in June, my other intention is to have everybody back up your courses, but they need to be clean before we back them up, because I don't want us to get to the point where like we did the beginning of this school year, where the SIS courses came in late, they were empty, and you didn't have a backup to import into your SIS courses. So some of you had to create those courses from scratch. We don't want to be in that situation. Okay, so I guess I am at the point where we have finished. Does anybody have any questions?
Could I ask a basic question, Dr. Waller?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so currently when I create assignments in Canvas, which I'm used to doing, what system am I using? Am I using some sort of Google system, or is that Canvas, or is that the cloud? What am I using currently?
What you're using currently, if you're not using Google Doc, when you go to submission type,
yeah,
you remember when I showed you that? If you're choosing something other than, if you're choosing like file upload or anything but Google Doc Cloud or Google Assignments, then you're just using the Canvas feature but it's still playing with Google, so it's still accessing your drive and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, I'm using file upload. Is that a good way to do it?
I mean, you could do it. Most people are doing that, but okay. The problem that I'm hearing with that is that students, one of the things that some of the teachers gonna have to change is some of these files that are being shared with students are not being shared properly, and that's why the students are having problems opening them up, as well as submitting them back to teachers. So we're gonna have to revisit how we sharing documents, because a lot of us, myself included, we go out here and find stuff. Why do we need to reinvent the wheel when it's already out there? So we bring stuff in that other people have created, where they have their own sharing properties on those that are not compatible with what we're doing internally. So what we really need to be doing is making a copy of those documents before we share them out with students, and make sure that anyone with the link is the sharing property on all those documents. So we're going to be talking about that soon. But, you know, I think we need to step up, and everybody needs to be using Google Assignments for submissions, because it's just better. It's just a better way to do it. Anybody else? Any other questions?
Dr. Waller, in order to clean up, do I need to go back and change all the things I've done through cloud to the kit in my course?
Yes.
So I need to back up and like all the way back in November when I was putting something out through the cloud, I need to go back now and change that so it's in the kit. So it will get loaded down in June to save for next year.
Yeah, so that when you go to use it next year, it won't break.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep.
Just wanted to check. So it's one of those things that'll take a little while to do.
Yeah, and I can help you do it. You know, that's no problem there. Just make sure everything goes smooth, because we don't want to put any more pressure on y'all than you already got. That's why I'm here. But
Gotcha.
but yeah, that's what y'all need to do.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Anybody else? All righty. So I want to thank everybody again. And, you know, again, do know that the office visit Google Meet code is still live and in place. So if y'all need help with anything, just jump in there. You don't even have to make an appointment, okay? And you just spread that. Tell everybody else. I tried to tell everybody in the other sessions, but tell everybody, if you need some help from me, just jump into office visit, okay? All right, so y'all take it easy. I will see y'all next week. And, you know, above everything, be safe. Continue to be safe out there.
You too. Thank you, Dr. Waller.
All right.